who has been around so many world champions. Every little detail counts. Dre, you've been in this spot so many times, you know how critical it is as we look at right now and managing the fears, managing the anxiety, and it started creeping in, the doubt started creeping in. But when I got into the dressing room and I started putting those wraps on, it's like I already know what I'm gonna do, baby. Let's go. It's showtime. Listen, I've had the pleasure of being with Lomachenko in the locker room with him prior to championship events. Everything looks the same. His disposition, the tenor, the tone, that feeling of anticipation. What we are monitoring and what we keep looking at is what do you sense from Teofimo Lopez? He does not have the big fight experience. He won a world championship and it wasn't even the main event. Listen, I see a little nervous energy from Teofimo Lopez. Maybe that's what he needs to keep his mind off the fight. He told us in the fight that that's what he kind of does. He keeps his mind off the fight until the
no grounded punches. Give me a good quick fight, touch him up, scoot back. So here's the deal with the first round knockout streak. Berlanga is yet to have a fight that has lasted more than 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Don't blink. His average fight is a minute 35. 14 for 14. Can he get number 15? He's a big looking super middleweight, isn't he, Berlanga? 6'1", he's got a 73-inch reach. Let him go, let him go. No, those 3 punches that Berlanga missed. Wow, bad intentions. He is so heavy-handed. There we go, I got you. Over 30 seconds in. Trying to keep the streak alive. First round knockouts. A flipping left hook. A flipping left hook just landed from Berlanga. With that left hook. That right hand comes in behind it. Watch out. He is so heavy-handed. Berlanga got to be careful not to get too aggressive. Bellows has the right hand of his own. He has a bunch of power there. He just throw it right over the top. Catch you coming in. 1 minute into round 1. 2 minutes to keep the streak alive for Berlanga. Another left hook. He did damage right there. A right hand comes in. A left hook comes in. He's got him against the ropes. Look at the face of Bellows in just over a minute. Edgar Berlanga, 15 straight knockouts to start his career. Bellows had never been taken out. He gets rid of them like that.
Oh, he did something wrong. He did something wrong. He's doing push-ups right now.
His trainer, Andre Rozier, said to him, you got to improve on something. Back to the corner to even get instructions in fight from his trainer.
He just punches, he punches bad as bitches, but you just hear the sound of those punches landing there on their body, on their head. Just devastating. But listen, what I love about Berlanga, he loaded up at the end there, but he's not trying to throw hard. That's the thing. He's naturally powerful. He's just letting his shots go and they land heavy.
He's so powerful that look at the cut he opened up.
Throwing hard, he's just letting his shots go. He saw an opening and he threw the shot, and it just lands heavy because the power is natural. It's God giving us a gift. Here we see again. He thought a shot was coming, it didn't. Just missed that shot. He landed it right. Just on that overhand right. Now he's rolling up a little bit because he knows he has Bellows hurt. I got a little nervous, and I'm looking at the ref like, ref, you may want to get in there because Berlanga's got bad intentions, like we've been saying, on every punch that he's throwing. And he's got the kind of power that can really, really hurt an opponent, especially an overmatched opponent like Bellows.
Tim, here's the thing when we talk about heavy hands. Even the glancing blows, even the blows that aren't flush are doing damage. Did you see the blood on impact from the right hand? Did you see the look in the eyes of Bellows on the left hook? Anything that touches from the heavy hands of Berlanga is like a wrecking ball of damage.
What I like about Berlanga is that he doesn't rush anything. He takes his time, he puts it together, and then boom, he lands the shot, he hurts you, and then he gets rid of you. That's what I love about Berlanga, man. Takes his time. I still want to see more. I want to see him in the later rounds.
I want to see a second round,
but
too.
guys, but listen, man, when you have that type of punching power, God-given talent like that, man, it's so hard to stop.
Somewhere Tracy Morgan and Fat Joe are partying deep into the night. This is their guy. Let's make it official. Here's Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside MGM Grand, referee Robert Hoyle calls a stop to this bout at 1 minute, 19 seconds of round number 1. Declaring your winner by technical knockout, Edgar, the chosen one, Berlanga.
See the Puerto Rican flag, Puerto Rican family in New York. He grew up a huge Tito Trinidad fan. He was at Tito's fights at Madison Square Garden. Went against William Joppy back in the day. I'll tell you what we're going to do, because you have the luxury of doing this when it's Edgar Berlanga. We're going to show you the full fight over, and the two of you can take us through what you see with your expert eye. Here it is, start to finish.
Where both guys are coming out, trying to establish distance, the speed of your opponent. That's what Berlanga's doing right now. He walked a little bit to his right. He started landing his jab, and once he's landing your jab, you understand your range. Nice check hook right there. Even that hook right there, he didn't throw it hard. Let him go, let him go. It landed hard, and even the left jab. That's how you know you're facing a puncher. When you get hit square in the face with the jab, and you get buzz like, oh boy, this is a lot. Watch it, stop. And then I thought it was good. I got you. That's when you know you're facing a real puncher. You saw it in the eyes of Bellows. His eyes were as wide as saucers, and he didn't have the same confidence he had yesterday in the fighter meeting. And then you see that little movement right there from Bellows. Bellows, you saw his legs, and you know if I saw that, you know that Berlanga saw it as well. And that's the reason why you see him getting real aggressive, but he's still staying behind himself. He's not rushing anything. He's solid right there. Lunged a little bit with that right hand. But you can see he's still trying to stay underneath himself to land a hard shot. At this point, I think he knew the first round knockout was in reach, and you start to see him kind of
sacrifice his form a little bit and really look for the knockout like you see right here. But not only did he have power along with that, speed, and he knows how to get himself in position to in the game. Andre Rozier is to continue to challenge Berlanga in the gym with top flight sparring. If you can't get it in the fights right now, you got to challenge him in the gym, and you can't become enamored with your fighter. And I don't think Dre will. He keep challenging him because one day he'll go past the first round, and you want him to be ready.
And I just want to remind everybody, Linnell Bellows, a 21 veteran, had never been stopped. 25-3 record. Tonight was the first time he was stopped, and it happens in the first round. It happened 79 seconds into the fight. The average length of fight for Berlanga was 95. He did it in 79. Bernardo.
Under your average time, 79 seconds is what a man who had never been stopped lasted in against you. For a guy who said, I want to get some rounds, you came in throwing some heavy thunder.
I already seen with the first shot, I cut him open, and the look in his eyes, he didn't want to be in there. From the beginning, once I got in the ring, I looked at his eyes, he didn't want to be in there, so I had to get him out.
Every time you finish with a knockout, we're all wondering, why is the guy doing push-ups? What did Dre tell you about what you did wrong tonight?
We was working on a combination in the back. You know, it was a step over, shoot the right hand over, and a left uppercut, and pivot and shoot a left hook. I didn't do none of that, so I had to pay.
You did pay, but you were very emphatic in saying, I'm a monster. What was that about? Where was that effusiveness coming from?
I guess because he's never been stopped before, you know, and now I'm the first person to stop him in the first round. So, you know, it was just off emotion of how I really feel. You know, for all the critics out there, all the media, you know, I just felt it in me that I had to say that.
All right, so now you improved to 15-0, 15 consecutive first-round knockouts. This was a scheduled 8-rounder. What's the next step for you?
We're looking to fight in December. You know, I just spoke to Bob right now, so he's looking to put me on in December. I'm actually looking forward to fighting next year in Puerto Rico, and then also finishing, you know, on June, the Puerto Rican weekend. So God willing, everything goes right, man. We can make it happen.
We're looking forward to that. Maybe good.
And I just, before you start, you know, I want to just say a shout out to my family, to my coach, Simanga, my father. I want to thank Glenn Story. I want to thank Stevie J Automotive from Queens, man. I want to thank everybody that's tuning in. Y la gente mía de Puerto Rico, te quiero mucho.
Thank you very much. All right, another big win for Edgar Berlanga. I don't want to be on the end of one of those shots, so Joe, we send it back to you.
No, I don't think anybody does, Bernardo. He does it again, 15 for 15. And folks, we've got an excellent co-feature fight coming up with junior welterweights, and then it's the big one, the Undisputed Championship of the World. You can always get better. You can always work harder. The young man doing push-ups after the first round knockout.
You know the saying, life is uncertain.
Thank you guys sa mga nakatune in sa channel natin. Sa page, sa mga nag-follow and like ng page. After nito, yes, I'm quite sure na dapat ang may laban si Saucedo sa Barboza. Not sure kung kasi hindi based kasi din sa sa pagkakasunod-sunod si Belos at Berlanga is mauuna din kay Castañeda sa kay Vargas. Pero dapat by 11 kasi yung start talaga ng laban nila ni Loma sa Lopez. So most probably, kasi hindi ko na panood yung buong game kasi medyo late na ako nag-gising. Kumbaga nakay na ako nakay Garner Tower na yung fight kanina. Pero alam ko Loma Lopez na to kasi kung nagdiretso yung fight ni Bello saka itong si Berlanga ng 12 rounds, abot ng 11:30 na halos yung fight nito. Kaya kung mo sa Las Vegas, sobrang gabing-gabi na yung fight nila. So, tingin ko Loma Lopez na talaga yung next fight. Based kasi dun sa records ko, sila na yung next eh. Wala nang next fight. Hopefully, para laban na agad. Thank you sa mga nag-follow sa page, sa mga nag-like. Nag-share pa rin ang stream na yun, katulad ni Leonard Tabirao, Raimundo Labrador. Thank you sa inyo. Sa mga nag-send ng Gcash dyan sa kay fresh na fresh lang kay Gerard Glenn Subong. Thank you at shoutout sa pag-send ng Gcash. Sa mga naka-tune in sana, kahit hindi pa yung Loma Lopez lang kayo. Enjoy nyo lang yung natin live stream. Hindi natin puputulin to hanggang dulo. Hanggang matapos yung main event. Dire-diretso lang. Kung mga hindi pa nagpa-follow, just click right now the follow button na magpa-prompt sa screen nyo. Alright. Habang wala pa, soundtrack muna kayo. Sa mga nagtatanong na ilalive ko daw yung UFC. Yes, mas inuna kong i-announce yung kay Khabib. I-live ko yun kesa dito sa ni-request lang ng mga tropa to na live ko tong Loma Lopez. Pero live tayo sa laban ni Khabib sa UFC. Kaya mag-follow na kayo sa para masubaybayan yung fight sa mga UFC fan din yan. Pakifollow nyo yung page. I-on nyo yung notification nyo na dyan sa comment section ngayon, just type exclamation point notify, walang space, para ma-notify kayo sa fight ng ni Khabib on my next stream. Thank you guys. Sa mga nagtatanong ko sino daw ako, sinong bet ko dito sa kanino ako, laban na to, well, definitely si Loma ang ko dito, ang boto ko dito. Kahit undefeated ko si Lopez, Loma, makita ko kasi talaga yung mga footwork, yung mga galawan ni Lopez. Hindi na lang kasi maganda talaga laban mo.
Mama, did you talk when you want to the cabinet there?
Sit that one, ha?
Dapat nga pala ay Hermes Branzuela. Maraming salamat. Hermes Branzuela. Thank you sa Adinka. Thank you to King James Gementiza or KNG James Gementiza. Kay Richmond Vizcaino. Kay Brian Gonzalez. Thank you Medyo bago
He admitted that, yeah, it does become personal for him when you're talking this much trash. Remember, the Lopez camp, as you see Teofimo there, and his father and trainer is in the background. You know, they've been doing this now for almost 2 years when it comes to Lomachenko. And Lomachenko said first year they see that. In the beginning, when I started training for him, it was a bit personal, but right now what's really personal is that red belt, is that IBF championship, of just getting that away from him and becoming undisputed. Still, Trey, I'll turn to you, and I will say this. At the weigh-in yesterday, it's all over ESPN, it's all over everywhere in social media. The move of Lomachenko stepping to him, going through that social distance barrier, a little different than the composure we usually see on a Loma.
Well, yesterday I didn't see Lopez, break the barrier. Initially, I had a bad angle, so I thought Loma broke the barrier first, but Loma broke the line. He said, I'm not just going to break the barrier, I'm going to break the line, and I'm going to get in your face. And I didn't look at that like it was Loma being out of character. Every now and again, you got to answer the call. I don't care if you're arguably the best fighter in the world. Sometimes you're going to run into a young fighter who just doesn't believe, and you got to let him know before you actually get in the ring with your body language that I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. If you look at the smirk that Loma had on his face, it was almost as if to say, young fella, you've talked. Now the moment is here. Are you ready?
Well, I took all that in as well, and I thought that, Loma was definitely out of character, but for the most part, what interests me and what I paid attention to was the fact that Lopez turned away first. When you turn away first, yes, exactly. When you turn away first, it's like almost like tucking your tail. You're taught from day one not to turn away.
Ayun sa ATP Fully Boy. Tapos viewers dyan sa NBA to UFC. Dulo na yung live sa Ronaldo Lichu. Thank you for sending me guys from Bolasa. Team Bolasa. Thank you guys. Michael Ramos for sending me guys. Thank you, Sir Michael. Sir Roderick Tudla, walang problema. Any amount will do. Paulo de los Reyes, shoutout sa Jomer Big Dago. Thank you for sending Gcash. Brian Gonzal, shoutout. Sir Vincent Gumamoy, salamat. Salamat. Ang lakas ng ulit sa amin. Sorry, medyo mabilis yung comment section natin. Yan yung na lang. Kung may important kayo na gusto yung pa-plug sa shoutout, pwede nyo yan sa Gcash. Any amount will do. Thank you guys. Ito naman yung super top 3 mo sa kaya. Mas ganahan pa tayo mag-live. Dito lang tayo na. Thank you to Arthur Aldrin Ramos. Shoutout daw sa girlfriend niya si Aliyah Caldila. Shoutout to Miss Aliyah Caldila from Arthur Aldrin Ramos. Thank you for sending Gcash. Jeremy Loncabo. Walang problema. Lady Gaga song. Ano Lady Gaga? Try natin. Elmo Monsanto. Thank you for sending Gcash. Shoutout sa'yo for Elmo Monsanto. Currently yan, pinapakita yung both trainers ng dalawa. Bakit sila na yan yung paglalaban eh. Yung dalawang trainers. Wait lang. Dahil sumalabing na pa naman. Pakita ko na yung slide. Balik ako. Nakamonitor ako kung kailan mag-start yung shoutout ko. 12,360 viewers. Chill lang kayo silang rin halos yata yung next game sana or may isa pa. Feeling ko din naman. Ito yung mga buta. Kay Ronald Marcelino, shoutout to Sir Ronald. Kay Marvin Tolentino, walang problema sa shoutout to. Kay Rydal Cruz, shoutout to sending Gcash. Roan and Gab, shoutout sa inyo from Ronan Canero. Shoutout sa inyo kay Nam Roan and Gab. Ronan. Anak nila yata. Jeco Miguel Buena. Shoutout sa girlfriend ko na si Madet. Shoutout sa iyo, Miss Madet from Jeco Miguel Buena. Shoutout to my kid, Tyler Gabor. Maraming salamat sa iyo. Libman Gabor. Shoutout. Thank you sa Lady Antigada. Hi to JC and Lara from Daddy Ravi. Hi sa inyo. JC and Lara galing kay Daddy Ravi. James Elson. Shoutout sa iyo, Sir James. Thank you for sending Gcash. And Christopher Tabasa. Shoutout to RTS na tumatalpak habang nanonood ngayon. Shoutout sa inyo, RTS team from Christopher Tabasa. Kay Erwin Glemau. Salamat sa live Lord. Yes, welcome Sir Erwin. Sir Nino, thank you po sa pag-sponsor ng next game natin sa Kabit. sponsored na tayo sa next UFC. Yung sa next next live stream natin ng UFC. Sponsored na tayo ng IJ at sanitizer. Yan nasa upper right corner natin. Shout out to Jermai. And shout out to American Oliver Darby for sending this out. Walang problema. You know need to say sorry. Walang problema. Hindi para gamitin natin yung pinasin yung support, hindi para patibayin pa itong natin live. Thank you sa mga supporters natin and mag-request ng kayo
Perfect record with 24 wins, with no losses. 10 of those victories coming by way of knockout. Number 7, ranked junior welterweight contender from South El Monte, California, Arnold Barboza Jr. Across the ring in the red corner, he weighed in at 140 pounds, wearing white trunks with black and gold trim. He brings the record.
Watched him closely in his career. Best remembered for his war with Lenny Z. That fourth round was voted round of the year. All action.
Barboza's in some serious trouble right now. You don't see it. I see it at the moment. You know, Saucedo's marching forward, landing some hard shots right now. Coming behind the jab, and he landed a nice right hand just a second ago. I don't understand the southpaw, Dre. What is he doing?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure what the game plan is with he and his team. But I will say this: Barboza is the far superior boxer of the two. A lot more skill, a lot more ability. He's pretty much got every category in his favor. The only thing he hasn't shown yet is, does he have that bite down? Does he have that grit?
Oh, right hook from Saucedo.
Shot right there. Got him with a shot.
Does
Does he have that grit when he gets into a tough spot? He's going to, because Saucedo may not have the ability and the skill, but he's extremely tough and he's got a strong will.
At southpaw stance, Barboza tries to land a left. Or an orthodox stance, tries to land a left hook.
Barboza needs to stop switching. He needs to stay in the orthodox stance, and he can land combinations like that against Saucedo.
It's exactly what we expected early on. Good pace, good action.
Sometimes young fighters, and he's been a pro for a while. I mean, young fighter, like this is his first big fight. They try to overthink it. They think they got to be 7 different things instead of being who they are and just being great at that.
The blood from the nose of Alex Saucedo. And there's a left hand that comes in from the undefeated Barboza.
Saucedo is a bleeder. He cuts a lot. He's been, his nose bleeds a lot, but that doesn't deter him. He keeps pressing forward.
Man, both guys are landing some leather. Forget a fill-out round. These boys are here to do damage.
And there was a right hand that came in. End of one. Good stuff here in Vegas.
Goodness.
Your next.
Habang round 1 break, shoutout muna tayo ng kaunti. Kay Dominic Maglasang, shoutout Sir Dominic Maglasang, thank you for sending Gcash. Ulysses Lumina.
Shout out the V Edition. I don't know how to sing, bro. I don't know the Spangle Banner. That's a, what do you call this one? National anthem of United States. I only know Chikading Chikading. You know what is Chikading Chikading?
And I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight your fight, and I'm gonna beat you in your own fight. It's pride. It could be a mistake, Drake. Spoke with Pedro Nimi, who's working the corner of Ali Saucedo. He said, look, the issue with the nose, it always leads. We're used to that. He's used to fighting through it. It's not going to be an issue.
And it happens in round one. He is well conditioned to overcoming adversity in fights. Former title challenger, 30 wins, framed against the one loss when he challenged back in 2018 Maurice Hooker for the WBO junior welterweight title. He lost that with a 7th round TKO. Snapping that jab out there. Three-punch combination from Barboza.
Shout out. Thank you so
Now you
much.
see Barboza starting to settle down and look like his normal self under his feet, using his jab and throwing crispy,
and
straight right hands.
Right uppercut thrown by Barboza. Trying to get the sweeping left hand to the
Celso
body.
Trinidad Jr. and
Saucedo
Trinidad family
inching
in
towards
Lakeview
that pocket.
Heights, Laguna. Thank you for sending Gcash, man.
Now
That's the
snapping
key.
that jab there,
That's the
Barboza. Can he set up off of it, Dre?
He can do it, but he's got to get a rhythm with that. He's got to build up some rounds.
Barboza
Good
is in
there
trouble, man.
Saucedo.
That right hand came in, Timmy, when he switched stances. Barboza went southpaw and the right hand came
You
in.
see my hands up. I'm saying, like, why are you switching southpaw? What are you doing?
Look at this infighting here in round two. Good stuff between these two.
And while Barboza's trying to figure out what stance he wants to be in, Saucedo's pressing forward and punching.
Remember, at the end of this fight, it is the world championship for all the belts. Lomachenko against the power of Teofimo
Hindi ko
Lopez.
nababasa yung ano. Hindi ko nababasa yung
If you like one-shot wrecking ball punchers,
yung 096.
then Teofimo Lopez
Hindi
is
yung
your
nababasa ko
guy.
lang sa screen.
The stats back up.
I want undisputed status, so we will see that in just a bit. Hey, that second round between Saucedo and Barboza was outrageous. 201 combined punches thrown. Barboza got the best of it, landing 30. 23 of them were power punches. Barboza's last fight was here in the Vegas bubble. That was August 30th. A unanimous decision win against Tony Lewis. Absolutely dominated. Switch stances that night, too. Looked very sharp. It was 99-90 on all three judges' scorecards.
Gusto mga nag-send ng
Interesting, in
Gcash.
that fight, he also
Sa
bloodied
number na
his
096.
opponent's nose.
Pag-message nyo lang po sa akin yung message nyo.
Barboza is extremely accurate. He's got a lot going for him. I said this the last time he fought. His footwork, you know, just everything. His selection of punches. He's facing the best competition he's ever fought. He's under more pressure than he's ever been under. And when you're facing a guy like Saucedo, who you know cuts and bruises up, just let the shots go. Don't load up. Just let the shots go, and hopefully you'll start to open the cut up.
A little bit of separation, tried to put that left hook in there. Now on the inside, Saucedo going to the body with the left hook, and it's Barboza who's able to split the guard. The infighting has been good early on. There's a short right hand from Barboza.
Nice shot. I'm letting you know right now, Barboza is fighting a courageous fight right now. Both fighters are. But particularly Barboza, he typically doesn't fight this way. He's exchanging with the puncher. That is very, very dangerous. You can see when he's outside, he uses jab and he starts his combinations out at distance. It's easy because Saucedo doesn't have a great defense. But when he stands there, my goodness, he's playing Russian roulette.
Digging to the body for the past 20 seconds is Barboza. Of course, Saucedo very comfortable, willing to exchange and punch between punches. This is just who he is. Round number 3 here. What a start to this co-feature. At the end of this fight, we will have Loma and Lopez. Remember, it is right here on ESPN. No switching over to a pay-per-view format. These megastars are fighting on ESPN tonight, and what a treat for the fans. And what a good thing for the sport. And you're going to see more and more of that in the coming months of the biggest and best fighting right here on ESPN, not pay-per-view.
Yes, this fight could boil down to a battle of attrition. Both these guys are throwing a lot of leather.
It doesn't matter where.
Kasi mga nakapag-send pala nung Gcash dun sa 0966 kanina, paki-message nyo sa akin yung screen capture nyo na lang yung proof para mabasa ko, ma-shoutout ko ulit kayo, ma'am. Pasensya na, hindi ko na babasa yung isang dun sa number. Wala sa akin yung isa. Thank you sa mga nag-support by Gcash dito. Shoutout ko muna kayong lahat. Thank you, Ronald Joseph Bellarmino. Pa-shoutout kay Ron J. Bellarmino, family ng San Pedro, Laguna. Shoutout sa iyo, Ron J. and family ng San Pedro. Razel Lekigan. Thank you sa Gcash. Shoutout sa iyo, Razel Lekigan. Muhammad Makidatu. Thank you for sending Gcash. Shoutout sa iyo.
Like fighting in the bubble, you think would that be an advantage for you? Yeah, I think it's a big advantage having been here before and performed well here in this ring, and I love it over here in Las Vegas. This is my second home now, and looking to put on a great performance and walk home with 3 belts around my waist. A lot of guys are beaten before they step into the ring. Looks like you're pretty confident that you have the formula to beat the monster. Yeah, I'm very confident. I think this is my destiny, and I believe I've got what it takes to beat him, and this is my opportunity to prove it. His twin brother is a monster, whether it's monster versus monster, but nonetheless, it's going to be a great night of boxing on Halloween here on Top Rank Boxing on ESPN.
Sure is, Bernardo. Good visit with Jason Maloney. He will be taking on the monster, the U.S. debut of the bantamweight champion, one of the most exciting fighters in the world, has signed with Top Rank and is coming to fight stateside. That happens Halloween night. Here we are a minute into round 4. In that last round, Arnold Barboza upped the pace, Tim. He threw 110 punches against Saucedo.
My goodness. It's a heck of a work rate for these two athletes. You know, I wonder how they're going to be towards the back end of this fight. Saucedo's got to be disciplined to come behind his jab as he throws combinations, because he's facing a quicker foot, quicker handed fighter in Barboza, and he's going to keep getting hit on the way in if he doesn't.
Shoutout kay Paulo Aquino. Thank you for sending
Barboza seems to
Gcash.
be getting a
Dexter
nice move
Ian
right now.
Abragan. Shoutout Sir Dexter Ian.
Those body
Paulo
shots
Aquino, thank you for sending Gcash.
Barboza's landed has got
Shoutout to Baby
Saucedo's
Cherry
attention and has slowed his
from
work
Charlie
rate down.
Medina. Shoutout po.
Saucedo has to return the favor and also
Richie
hit Barboza to the
Bakiran.
body just like that.
Shoutout.
That was a
Thank
good
you sa
combination right there that included 2 body shots.
Richie Fernandez Bakiran.
Just look at the hand placement of Saucedo. He's protecting his body. Those
Shoutout
body shots are
Maningkol
definitely
Basketball
effective.
Club and Alzami
He don't care
City
about getting hit in
Basketball
the
Club
face.
from Pencho
And there's a
Medina.
lot of leather flying between these two, isn't there?
And the word that Barboza
Charlie
used to
Medina,
build up to
thank
this
you for
fight was
shoutout
respect.
to
He said,
Baby
this is what I
Cherry
want, is
Salonga.
respect from Saucedo in the boxing world. Right
Shoutout sa
now,
anak
he's
ni
getting
Sir Mojo, Baby Atlas,
With
and
a swelling
wife
under the left eye,
Christine Joyce
Barboza as he
Vergara.
comes in with the left hand again and pushes off with the shoulder.
honestly.
Oh, good right hand from Barboza. And he tries to go with the left hook to the body. It's the kind of fight that Saucedo often invites, isn't it? This is good stuff. Good action here before we get to the big one.
Shout out to Francis Ignacio, Mark
Man, oh,
Joseph
man.
Gasalao,
What an opening
Gasalao.
4 rounds between
Shout out to
Saucedo and
Shout out
Barboza.
from Willie
And
Ayapana.
we are
Thank you,
getting
Sir Willie.
closer to
sa Gcash.
Lomachenko and Lopez.
Francis
As you
Ignacio,
see
thank you
the
for the
commission
Gcash.
inspecting
Glenn
the gloves
Mesa,
and the
thank you
tape
po.
job outside of
Chris
those
Chan
venom gloves.
Burisan,
And
thank
there
you po
is
sa
Teofimo Lopez making his final
salamat
preparations.
po your support.
Let's look at the Geico tail of the tape. Now that top line age became a point of discussion for Lopez. He says, Loma's an old man, 32 years old. Listen, he had almost 400 amateur fights, but he doesn't get hit a lot. Look at that bottom number. You want to talk about a fight worthy of your attention? Power punch connect percentage
Shout out ulit sa
over
Ozami
50
City
for
Eagles
Lopez,
Club,
over 44% for
Manipal
Lomachenko,
Basketball
well
Club,
above the
and
lightweight
Osami City
average.
Basketball Club
We
from
showed you
Pencho
that
Medina.
display
Thank you
of
po,
power
Pencho
and gave
Medina.
you the historical perspective. Dre, when your power punch connect percentage at lightweight is better than Roberto Duran, you're talking all-time historical numbers.
Thank you
CompuBox
to
went
Francis
back
Ignacio. Shout out to
and
Sir
tallied
Francis.
Duran's fights at 135.
And to those who want
Duran
to
may
be
be
the
the most
sponsor on the
destructive
next
force that
fight
the
on the
lightweight
next
division ever saw.
UFC game,
You know,
you
we're gonna bring
message me
Roberto Duran into the
on my
equation. We got to
inbox
talk about the
para
level of
ilagay natin
competition
yung
That's
logo
right.
in the
ng
football
business
term.
niyo
Strength
dito
and
sa
schedule.
live stream
It's not
natin
the same,
sa
but
UFC.
to your point, yes,
Message
Lopez is a power puncher. He can box. He does have an IQ, but the world is falling in love with him because of the
Mark
knockout
Lester
power.
Reyes,
You think about the great lightweights, and we are going to listen.
Julius
Somebody's
Victor
going on
Guevara,
the all-time list tonight because we've never had a 4-belt undisputed lightweight champion. But you look through the history of the division that we are going to discuss with Loma and Lopez, and it is a pillar division in the history of the sport, going back with guys like Henry Armstrong, Ken Buchanan, Duran, Arguello, Julio Cesar Chavez, Pernell Whitaker. Greatness will be in front of us tonight with the winner. Middle of round 5 here, Saucedo, Barboza. Let's go back at that big right hand that Barboza placed in that last round today.
Beautiful setup right there. Blind him with the jab. Stuck it out
Kiko
there
Guevara,
and came
shout
right
out to you.
behind
Thank you, Sir Kiko
with the right
Guevara.
hand.
Shout out to
That's what the jab sets up. The jab occupies your opponent's eyes. You can blind them with that jab, but if you come around with the power, that's the cleanup crew. That's why it's important to land your jab first.
Shout out to from Mau Mau. Pa-shout out kay Sting and Sam Castillo.
I'm the bigger fighter. I think I'm the stronger
Hello po.
fighter.
Shout
And
out
you're going
kay
to see a whole new me.
Sting and
Guess
Sam
what? It's exactly what we have.
Castillo
It
from
is,
Mau
and
Mau.
because of it, it makes for a wildly entertaining fight.
Sheila Lagusan.
How's that
Thank
jab
you po
again
for
against
sending
Saucedo?
me. Shout out to sa'yo, Ma'am Sheila.
Barboza right now is having the fight of his life. He's boxing like he's possessed. He wants the championship, and he's here to impress tonight. He's here to get a knockout. He wants to knock out Saucedo. But what I like about Barboza tonight is, yes, he's fighting the fight of his life in terms of performance thus far, and he's fighting at a high pace, but he's fighting within himself. I don't get the sense that Saucedo is dictating the terms of this fight. You know, I noticed that every fight Saucedo's in, he's bleeding and he's getting hit with solid shots
From Mau Mau,
like
pa-shout
that.
out kay Sting
You
and
know,
Sam Castillo.
When
Shout
you
out
get
po.
hit with those
Thank
type
you,
of
ma'am.
punches over and over in every single fight,
Ma'am Christina.
definitely
Shout out.
shortens your career. Entertaining, but you're gonna have a short career taking those type of punches.
And the pound fighter in the world, Lomachenko. He went from reading to seated and taped to now gloved up and pacing. History on the line. We've never had a 4-belt undisputed lightweight champion. There have only been 4 men to ever be 4 belts undisputed champions. The 2 middleweights, Hopkins and Taylor. The great Bud Crawford when he was at 140 pounds. and the cruiserweight Alexander
Shout
Usyk, a dear
out to
friend
Oscar
of
Fernando
Lomachenko's.
Martinez.
But
Maraming
now,
salamat po
in
sa
this
Gcash.
division, the
Sir
history-rich
Oscar
lightweight
Fernando
division,
Martinez.
we will have a four-belt undisputed champion. By the way, speaking of Terrence
Shout out
Crawford, it is now
to
signed
Oscar
and
Martinez,
sealed
Shao
that
Martinez, and
Crawford
Paulo
will put up
Prieto.
his welterweight championship against Kell Brook, the former titleist, on November 14th. And once again, that fight will be on ESPN right here in the bubble. So here we have Lomachenko and Lopez saying, yeah, I'll fight in the bubble without fans. I won't. Don't worry about pay-per-view. Now you have Bud Crawford saying he's in too. So you get to see Terrence Bud Crawford. As we're going to get the break from Saucedo Ruiz for the warning. Listen.
Shout out again to Shao Hernandez and Paulo Prieto from Sir
Ruiz
Oscar
offers
Martinez.
the time to Barboza. He says
Nanonood
we
po sila
fight
ng
out.
live stream.
Lomachenko is ESPN.com's #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. But those of us who vote for that, some of us sitting at this table, have Bud Crawford #1.
Yeah, he's my number one. You mentioned him being, cleaning out the 140-pound division.
Power punches, landing over 50% of his power punches. And average top lightweight rank is 35%. Everybody who has analyzed this fight, everybody who has put forth a prediction says Lopez has to win the power. It's the only way against Loma. All right, Andre, let's look at your scorecard. Remember, because of the data and the replay, that seventh round becomes a 10-8 round. The knockdown score, consistent work rate, with the volume of punches, with the commitment to step to Saucedo and make it that kind of a fight ahead on your scorecard. Remember, a critical fight here at 140 pounds. Let's find out how the judges see it, and then we got Lomachenko and Lopez. Ladies and gentlemen, here inside MGM Grand, after 10 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Dave Moretti has about 96-93. Max DeLuca and Patricia Mills-Jarman both scored about 97-92. All in favor for your winner by unanimous decision. And now, the WBO Junior Welterweight International Champion, Arnold Barboza Jr. Arnold Barboza is now 25-0. He outlanded Saucedo 218. And of those 218, 188 were power shots. And a big right hand in the fourth round. He fought the fight he said he would. Your final thought on the night from Barboza? Very entertaining fight. You know, he put it all out there for us to see. You know, I felt it. You know, I felt his passion inside that ring, the way he fought. He could have boxed his way to victory, but he wanted to stand there and show the fans at home that he can take a punch and he can give one as well. Listen, Barboza is a problem. Yes, he is. Anybody and everybody at 140, and I'm even talking about Josh Taylor, Jorge Ramirez, and this guy is not even as good as he's going to be, and he's still gaining confidence. If he gets any better, it's going to be a problem. You guys ready for it? Everybody's been waiting for it. A big fight in the midst of all of this. A winner-take-all fight for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. All four belts. It has never happened in the history of the lightweight division. Vasily Lomachenko wants to be undisputed. This guy, Edgar Lopez, and his father, as you see him looking at this right now, they have been calling out Lomachenko. They have been trash talking for the better part of 2 years. The father, Teofimo Jr., said, "We will win a world championship in our 14th fight." They did. It was the moment. Here we go with one of the most anticipated title fights of the year. Considered from afar, the antagonist clear abstraction. When up close, you can see him for what he is. He is cheap, sense his weakness. Eso fue un long 3 minutes. Figure it out. Yeah, we knew it. That's when we knew it. After you win the title against Kobe, he comes up in the ring. What did you feel from him in that moment? Sorry, from the later, man, I was thinking about myself. That was my moment. You know, I told Bob, I'm sorry, when Bob was grabbing me, you can't do this. We need this fight. This is my moment. I don't need him to be up here. I
I sense mutual respect. I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah. He was there in the back corner with his hands behind his back, and I'm over there taking photos, and I know that they want this. Like, I saw him in the ring, so I called him. I said, yo, get over here. Like, come on. He's like, come here, boy. I'm going to come and show you what's up. Hey. So I think we're actually this stuff, but this stuff, no one knows how I was actually there at the lot. Высказываться, и говорить много о мне, там совсем приятные вещи, но когда я зашел в ринг, когда мы встали друг к другу, там с его позиции, так как он это все преподносил, повез еще обниматься, но руку поставил мне, то есть он начал меня обнимать.
So you want to hug TFU now?
Обниматься. Нет. Я не знаю, что он ждал в ответ. Он думал, что я с ним буду дружелюбно, но точно так же после всего, что он там говорил, вести себя дружелюбно.
What did you see in his eyes after he came up in the ring?
It's the eyes, Chico, never lie. When reality hits somebody and they realize they're in the fight for their life, that's when you realize that they know that you know. What I saw is what I needed to see, and that was someone that knows that, like, this is for real. Lomachenko is a person who's a diva, someone that thinks they're a god. So much of diva. You understand that? He just rubs me off different, man. I think that guy really believes that he's a god. It's okay to think that you're a king. But not a god, man. I'll smack a fighter, I'll smack somebody straight up in their face because you think that you're supposed to. You don't praise me and be ready. If this ain't just words, you're going to flip.
Twelve victims have parted with the fist of Teofimo Lopez. Another three went the distance. He is undefeated. He is the IBF lightweight champion of the world. But he's only 23, and the American hopeful is taking on the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world in moments. Joe, Tim, and Dre with you. The super fight has arrived here in this intimate setting of for the free zone. So only a limited few are here. Only about 100 folks allowed in for a fight that clearly would have ticket prices going for about tenfold. Would have celebrities asking for and filling up the seats for the first 5 rows. This is the best fight in boxing. But here we are. And because of that, sometimes this week, it didn't feel real. Like last night, when Teofimo Lopez here in the bubble just walks into our production meeting. The calm and cool, hanging out with the TV crew. But Trey, now is when experience matters. Now is when we see if you really can be calm and cool. One of the pieces of analysis that people have pointed to with concern with Teofimo Lopez is he doesn't have the big fight experience. He won a title with a second-round knockout. This is his first title defense. Lomachenko has all the experience in the world.
Right, and Tim Bradley loves to say that I don't pick fights before they happen, and I'm not committed. But I'll tell you this, I'm picking the big fight experience of Lomachenko. You know, the lion with the most scars hunts the best. That's because he's been through some things. He's been faced with adversity and come out on the other side. To your point, Lopez hasn't had to face a lot of adversity in his professional career. Tonight is his time. He knocks him out. But we'll see. But tonight is his opportunity to show that man, I gotta go with Loma, and I think the big fight experience, overcoming adversity, and everything that he's proven to this point will be the difference for him tonight.
John, all week long you have said the opposite. All week long you said you believe that the power can and will win this fight. Do you remain that confident?
I remain that confident. Timing is everything. He's getting Lomachenko at the right time. He's going to deliver tonight.
Now, Cribbin, your final thoughts before we ring walk.
Two possibilities, each his start. If Lomachenko wins, the 4-belt champion in lightweight is a featherweight and without question the best fighter of the post-Mayweather era. If it's Teofimo, the 4-belt champion is 23 years old, you will never see that again. That's more, you have mythic, a new superstar, the first to come of age in Vegas since Canelo Alvarez.
So much of the lead up to this fight was focused on the trash talk, the big mouth, all the stuff boiling over. But Lomachenko told us in my country, more people are afraid of the silent guys who take action than the guys who talk a lot. Time for talking is done. We're fighting next, folks, for the undisputed championship of the world. Number one, pound for pound in the world, Vasily Lomachenko.
I don't want to be undisputed world champion. Champion will be just wrong.
You guys will be your one man. 2020, he'll be going down.
Guys, palik ng page.
pulses quicken when it rings in our ears. A call to arms, and for calm, to release, and to rest. The signal of the coming storm, and the all clear. The sound you hear when the battle ends. The bell.
The heart beats just a little faster right now, doesn't it? And can you imagine that echo of pumping within the chest of Lomachenko and Lopez as they stand alone right now? No cornermen. They're just ready to make the win walk for the biggest fight that boxing can make. Where Brooklyn is at is right here, right now in Vegas. Brooklyn born Teofimo Lopez will walk first, the IBF champion of the world. How will he stand there? As the heartbeat now readies for Lomachenko. The unified matrix moves. The pound for pound king, the silly Lomachenko. The two champions have arrived, and for the first time in the long history of the sport, we have a full belt lightweight championship. The undisputed lightweight championship of the world. Winner takes all. For the official introductions, here's Mark Chinook. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside the MGM Grand here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. The wait is over. The winner takes all. Presented by Top Rank and Hall of Fame boxing promoter Mr. Bob Arum.
and brought to you by Geico. Our judges at ringside, Tim Cheatham, Julie Letterman, and Steve Weisfeld. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. Russell Mora. And now, to the millions watching around the world on ESPN and ESPN Plus. This is boxing. This is Top Rank. And this is the main event. Scheduled for 12 rounds. The one, the only, the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, with head trainer Teofimo Lopez Sr. He weighed in at 135 pounds, wearing gray graphite and gold trunks. He brings 15 wins, no losses, 12 of those victories coming by way of knockout. He is a 2016 Olympian, making his first world title defense. He is the reigning IBF lightweight champion of the world from Brooklyn, New York, the takeover, Teofimo Lopez. Across the ring in the red corner, with head trainer and Lomachenko. He weighed in at 135 pounds, wearing black trunks with green trim. He brings a record of 14 wins, with only 1 defeat, 10 victories coming by way of knockout. He is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, a former featherweight world champion, a former junior lightweight world champion, making his fourth lightweight world title defense, considered by many as the pound-for-pound king. He is the current WBO, WBA, WBC franchise, and Ring Magazine unified lightweight champion of the world from Jermai, Ukraine, Vasily Lomachenko.
A fanless atmosphere for titans like this.
Centering, gentlemen.
Round one.
Next, please. Okay, right, chunks here are good. Good. Anything below the navel is a foul. Chunks here are good. Anything below this point is a foul. Anything below the belly button. We went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to remind you, protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. God bless you both. Touch up.
Boxing history has taught us that there is nothing light about the lightweight division. These 135-pound titles, they're like stone slabs, chiseled with legendary names. Roberto Duran, Julio Cesar Chavez, Cornell Whitaker. Now we go one step further. For the first time, it's 4 of us. It's undisputed lightweight supremacy. The vibrant, young, knockout puncher of the American against the unequaled skill of the pound-for-pound king. It's Lopez, it's Loma, it's winner take all. Let's do this. Now, one thing to be noted in the opening round is that Lomachenko has been a slow starter. He lands half of what he lands in rounds 2 through 12. He throws 20 fewer punches than the lightweight average in the first round. It's later that he typically takes up the pace.
Yeah, it is later that he typically gets the pace, because what he does is he takes a read on this guy. Almost like Aaron Rodgers or Peyton Manning. Going up to the line of scrimmage. That pre-snap read. That's what he's doing. He want to get a look at his opponents before he executes. Like what Lopez is doing in his first round, is getting that jab going. Oftentimes, righties don't throw jabs against lefties, and that's a misnomer. The jab can land. Lopez hasn't really landed if he's getting himself in position
pushing them other shots.
Not only is it common to not see orthodox fighters do that against the southpaw, it's uncommon to have any productivity with the jab for Lopez. That's just the right-hand power punch. And remember, in the lead up to this fight, he discussed the fact that he felt his skill set wasn't being represented or talked about enough.
That's not why the world he's shown more power than he has IQ and skill set. But he does have the skill and the ability to box alone. We're seeing it right now.
Halfway through round one, this is exactly what we told you about Lopez, about being the slow starter, about downloading the information and not firing off the way we typically see. He finds range. He gets distance calculated.
I'll tell you one area where Lopez should attack, and it's the body of Loma. To slow down those legs, 1. 2, he has a big frame. You know, for a small guy, he has a long torso. Go down to that body. You see how Loma keeps his hands up real high? Throw something up top and then jumps up down to the body.
There it is. And there is the right hand to the body from Teofimo Lopez.
These are the rounds why Loma is downloading information Lopez can put in the bag right now. Just keeping his hands working.
Heard his father say after that right hand to the body, that's what I want. There's the jab again for Lopez. Or jabs that we're used to seeing from him.
Perfect round so far for Lopez. So you see all the hand gestures, but you see how Lopez, how calm he is, how relaxed he is.
Try to come across with that right hand to the body again. Remember, there were so many who thought that Teofimo would come out as the brash, young, bold fighter and jump on Loma. Instead, measured, calculated, utilizing the jab, and went to the body with the right hand. Well done by Teofimo Lopez.
Round 1 for Lopez.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
Success that night in London from Luke Campbell.
Yes, it was, and that's what I saw. I saw that Luke Campbell, when he was able to establish distance outside, he was able to isolate the offense of Lomachenko, just as you see here with Lopez. He's isolating the offense.
Left hand from Lomachenko for the first time now.
On display right now. You may say, well, how is that possible for Lomachenko? Because you got to watch the indirect attacks, the feints of foot, the feints of hands, and all the positioning that he's doing before he even lets a shot go.
He makes you work even if he's not throwing punches. He's so angular, all the movement. It can be exhausting. Good exchange, got to him.
Better?
Let's go back and watch that left hand from Loma about halfway through the round, and then we'll show you what happened in the final 15 seconds.
Just a slip and a straight left, right down the pipe for Lomachenko. He tried to shoot another one. He just missed that one, but just timed him. He didn't throw a punch for a round and a half so he could land a clean shot like that. That's the way that Loma's wired. He doesn't want to waste anything. And then we see a straight left, a swivel right hand, and another left right there that also got Teofimo Lopez's attention.
And it got the attention of Cynthia Lopez as well, who is one of the COVID tested few who gets to come in here to the Vegas bubble to watch this super fight. So the last half of that second round, bank it for Vasily Lomachenko. Round number 3 for the undisputed title.
Lopez got real comfortable. You know, Loma didn't do much. But then when he did strike like a cobra, and he was pinpoint accurate.
He brought up how exhausting it can be with a non-punching activity. How Loma can outclass his opponents mentally. And for Lopez, this is not just a challenge of what you're up against physically, but staying focused every single second against a master craftsman. That can be so taxing, Dre.
It's like Brady or Aaron Rodgers going to the line of scrimmage and audibling 2 or 3 times, and as a defense, you get set, and then they audible again, and then you get set, they audible again. It's very, very exhausting, and Lopez knows this coming in. He's watched Lomachenko, so I believe he's prepared for that tonight.
And then on the other side, Tim, if you're Teofimo, you know that Loma loves to fight with rhythm. He loves to conduct the orchestra of his fights. At some point, you have to find a way to be disruptive. You have to find a way to take full control and make him uncomfortable.
You got to be a little bit aggressive to offset that rhythm, but he fades in and out of range. You know, that's why he's so effective. You know, you come in and see him step out of range right there, made Lopez this, then he'll come back in range. It looks like you can hit him, and then he slightly gets out. Then he moves his head off to the side. You have to be alert, really alert, when you're in there against a sharpshooter like Lomachenko. He is dipping, changing levels. See, what Loma's doing is he's trying to test the young guy. He's trying to see what he knows. He's changing levels, dropping his head down low, trying to see if he can get a response. And if he sees the right response, then he'll attack. He'll come up shooting with shots.
Loma found himself in the pocket for a moment there, and Teofimo threw the 2-punch combination.
That body shot lifted up Lomachenko, trying to get away from it.
Left hand from Teofimo. Every time that threshold is crossed, he is going to fire. There he is with Lomachenko against the ropes for a moment, and a combination. Lomachenko returns fire.
See, Lopez got to be a little bit more disciplined. If he's going to do the shoulder roll, he got to be a little bit more disciplined with that.
Not time for that, Timmy. Not time for that. It's the 3rd round. It's not time for the shoulder roll. The shoulder roll comes when you're comfortable and you've taken charge of this fight. And right now, Lopez is not completely in control of this fight.
Well, he's in control of this round right now.
Took the first Lomachenko's effort in the second, and then a good looking round here, round number 3 for the whole
2-1 for Lopez. Round three.
His father and Joey Gamache, the assistant trainer. Joey Gamache, who early in the career of Vasily Lomachenko was working with Loma. In that 3rd round, Teofimo Lopez has landed 11 of 42 punches thrown. Lomachenko had 2 of 11.
That body shot lifted up Lomachenko, trying to get away from it.
Left hand from Teofimo. Lomachenko against the ropes for a moment, and a combination. Lomachenko returns fire.
Lopez got to be a little bit more disciplined. If he goes to the shoulder roll, we got to be a little bit more disciplined with that. It's not time for that, Jimmy. It's not time for that. It's the third round. It's not time for the shoulder roll. The shoulder roll comes when you're comfortable and you've taken charge of this fight. And right now, Lopez is not completely in control of this fight. Well, he's in control of this round right now.
Took the first Lomachenko's effort in the second, and then a good looking round here, round number 3 for the hopeful undefeated American.
I like the pace that Lopez is fighting. He's not wasting anything. He doesn't seem to be over anxious. And he's not throwing a lot of punches. He's only throwing what he needs to throw. So he should have plenty left in the tank as this fight progresses on.
Something about concentration, Trey. He's going to have to concentrate every second, every minute of this round.
Yes, both fighters. Yes. Neither fighter can fall asleep for 1 second. If I'm Lopez, I'm getting a little bit more down to the body of Loma. You know, in these moments, you got to take calculated risk. Loma's body's there. You got to step in and get ripped out of that body.
Just missed with that right hand to the body, but he has been willing to throw to the body. Short exchange, short right hand.
Did you see that uppercut right there? That's what I'm looking forward to seeing from Lopez. That right uppercut. I think one thing that's giving Loma some trouble right now is he didn't realize that Lopez was as quick and as fast as he is.
He is twitchy. That is a big part of his success. It's not just pure power, God-given power. He has speed that creates timing, which results in power.
Loma talked about the IQ of Lopez. He talked about the power of Lopez. He talked about the timing of Lopez, but he didn't mention the speed. He's realizing that Lopez has speed right now.
And of course, things are real interesting for the underdog, aren't they? The IBF champion. We have noted how much he has been willing to go to the body.
Yeah, this is what Lopez got to continue to do. Lomachenko keeping those hands up high. What do? Dig around the sides. Why not? He's giving it to you. You know, he needs to continue to invest in the body to slow down Lomachenko. You know, in the later rounds, Lomachenko will begin to fade. You need to zap some of that energy now, early, so that way he'll be able to keep up with the superior conditioning later on with a fighter like Lomachenko.
Round 5. 3-1. 3 for Lopez. 2 for Lomachenko.
All week long, we asked for the lack of big fight experience show up.
Round 5. That's it.
So far, we're getting the answer that it's no problem for Lopez. Staying composed, staying with a plan, and looking good against the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Round number 5 here from the bubble at the MGM Grand in Vegas.
Lopez, keep it like this. He's winning these early rounds. A lot of these early rounds.
Loma is acting like Mayweather this time. Less punch, more running. No punch so far for Lomachenko.
puncher. End of 5.
Been few and far in between, but every now and again he'll get something in like that and sort of let Lopez know, don't get too reckless, which is not enough from Loma at the moment. This is where Lopez wants to live. He doesn't have to stand there for 4 and 5 shots, but 1 or 2 shots to continue to touch the body of Loma, let him feel the power, and continue to slow those legs down.
They ready for round 6. Joe Tessitore, Tim Bradley, Andre Ward with you here ringside. Interesting to note when it comes to the defense of Lomachenko, that has been simply sublime for most of his career. In his career, opponents only lands 18% of their punches on him. Lopez is ahead of that schedule. However, at 135 pounds, fighting bigger than his natural weight, here's a champion at 135 with 3 belts. He has been getting hit more. Opponents at 135 pounds land 30% of their power punches against him. Right now, Teofimo Lopez is landing 36% of the power punches against Lomachenko. And it comes in with a 1-2 there, a right hand that tries to split the guard here early in round 6.
Just missed off the mark with that left hook test.
I kept asking Teofimo in the lead up to the fight about the power. He said, you don't get it. His IQ is going to bring out mine. And what we haven't seen is Loma moving to his right the way he does against everyone else.
He typically takes that angle mark to the right to try to get out of that lead foot and be able to place that power left hand. He gets it.
I kept asking Teofimo in the lead up to the fight about the power. He said, you don't get it. His IQ is going to bring out mine. And what we haven't seen is Loma moving to his right the way he does against everyone else.
He typically takes that angle mark to the right to try to get out of that lead foot and be able to place that power left hand. He gets a
when you're facing an explosive puncher like Lopez, but you got to get inside that power to be effective so you're not on the end of his punches. Because right now, in the end, he's getting picked apart by Lopez.
speed of that jab from Teofimo Lopez. It's with hands. Once again, trying to go the body with a long-range right hand. Southpaw jab, in double and triple. He's trying to get to the inside of the short left hand.
That's where he's got to live, right there. Did you see the hook from Lopez, though?
Now, that hook could be dangerous against the southpaw because it's sitting right on top of him. Closest punch to be landed.
And that's the shot that's going to take away the jab of Lomachenko. That left hook. It's going to make him keep his hands at home.
There's a right hand to the body again from Teofimo. Counter punch by Loma. Also, more, we haven't said his name much tonight, getting the assignment as the third man inside the ropes, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm starting to see the same sequence from Lomachenko. He steps in, steps out of range, and he tries to get a jab off. Lopez, let me see if he can pick it up.
Good uppercut. And right hand. Big finish to round number 6. The end of the round, the uppercut by Teofimo.
That's what you want to land. He's a smaller man. He's coming inside. Anytime Lomachenko to see that uppercut coming from Lopez. Beautiful, perfectly placed uppercut at the end of that last round.
And then he came with a straight right.
That's how you do it. You catch him coming in and you catch him leaving.
Brooklyn born, then moved down to South Florida. Now lives in Jonesboro, Arkansas. with his wife Cynthia does the uppercut by Tiafimo. That's what you want to land. The end of the round, the uppercut by Tiafimo.
That's what you want to land. He's a smaller man. He's coming inside. Anytime Lomachenko steps foot forward, you're going to see that uppercut coming from Lopez. Beautiful, perfectly placed uppercut at the end of that last round.
And then he came with the straight right.
You catch him coming in, and you catch him leaving. That's how you do it. You catch him coming in, and you catch him leaving.
Brooklyn born, then moved down to South Florida. Now lives in Jonesboro, Arkansas, with his wife Cynthia, does the IBF lightweight champion. The 23-year-old undefeated world champion. Halfway through our 12th round fight for supremacy. And Andre Ward's card has it 59-55 Lopez, and it is really tough to disagree with anything there because Lomachenko has hardly put forth, but all the other rounds seem to be obvious for Tiafimo.
Well, Senior told me, look, this guy can take a shot, but what I'm seeing here is that we're going to run him down, but he has to be patient. Just wait for the moment, but we're going to run him into a shot.
You can see some redness and just a little bit of swelling around the face of Lomachenko. Look at that focus on Tiafimo Lopez. Hyper attentive to everything going on here as he fires off that back power hand again. Loma able to get out of range.
Lopez can fight at this pace all night long. You want to tire out the young man? I don't think so.
Right hand got around the guard there. There's a right hand to the body from Tiafimo.
See, now Lopez now is throwing his punches where he thinks Lomachenko's going to be. He's moving around to the left. Okay, I'll put a left hook. You move around to the right. Boom, I'll hit you on the right cross.
But don't you think that's a big part of what it takes against the moving target that we typically see of Lomachenko to anticipate where he will be? He's angular. He likes to move. Look at Loma trying to be more on the front end now. And a little rough stuff on the inside is Russell Moore. He's going to say you got to protect yourself, Tiafimo. He's allowed to punch on the inside.
Like the ball with that shot that Lopez just landed, you got a free hand, you can use it.
Says the guy who often did to have confidence. That's Andre Ward with short body shots on the inside. Anything it took from our partner. Just missing with a right hand coming to the end of round 7. Different disposition in the back half of that round from Lomachenko. Fascinating fight, isn't it?
This uppercut I've been talking about, Loma's going to have to commit sooner or later, and boom, just a little bit off the mark. Loma that got his head off the line. That is experience of Lomachenko. You ever see Loma trying to get his offense going? Just a straight left to the body and a swivel right jab to the head. Nothing that was too serious, but he's trying to get into a rhythm right now. He has to take more chances, and I'm talking about Loma, in order to do that. He's got to open himself up. Don't neglect defense, but he's going to have to open himself up because I think he's behind a great deal on the scorecards.
You can hear that rough voice of his father, Tiafimo, and you heard it say it's a blowout. There is supreme confidence in the corner of Lopez. There always is. They're just doing it in a different way. More offense we saw out of Lomachenko. He landed 4 power shots in that last round. But look at the fights. He's only landed 11 overall. Lopez has landed 38.
Almost going to have to close that distance. He's closing it right now. He's going to have to close that distance and be in range like that, but still be as tight with his defense as possible.
The clash of heads there. So now Lopez coming in with his head. Watch the headbutt here.
All right, guys. Let's go. Watch your heads.
I mean, Teofimo has to understand. It may have been clean for the first half of the fight, but with it all on the line, this will turn into a fight. He's not just going to give the belts away.
You're right, but now you see Lomo pressing on the gas a little bit. He's fighting with more urgency because he knows he's behind and he knows he only has so many rounds to try to make up the ground.
Right hand by Lopez.
And if you're Lopez, you got to stand your ground and not let Lomo take any more ground.
Nice step around right there from Lopez. I said anytime Loma trying to get on angles, step around with him. And you see it again. He steps with it.
With the guard with the right hand. Oh, and there's a left hand from Lomachenko. And now he comes into the pocket and they're exchanging. Lomachenko's best offensive surge of the night. It comes at the halfway point of round 8. Things have changed, and now he's stepping to Teofimo.
He's got to close the distance.
Teofimo running the trade. He throws a right hand of his own.
Lopez has to continue to fight him out.
The fight has begun. Lomachenko looking to dig out of the hole. Lopez trying to throw fire back.
There it is right now. Loma's starting. He found the heartbeat now. He found the heartbeat. Got the rhythm going. Now he's on his own pace. Being very active at the moment.
You see a little bit of redness around the eyes of Teofimo. There's the jab from the pound-for-pound best in the world. Right hand behind the jab. Lomachenko back out on the outside. We'll go back into the kitchen.
Lopez can't abandon the jab. He's got to continue to use that. That's what's gotten him up on the scorecards and has him in control of this fight right now.
Straight right hand moments ago. Looking for that right uppercut again. Remember, he had success a couple rounds ago with it. By far the winning round of the fight. Marked down round number 8. Things changed.
You got to watch your head, okay?
Pressure. He must pressure Lopez. Get him on his back foot. Don't allow him to stay with those arms. He needs to take chances. Now, get aggressive like he's doing. But that's just the reason why he was able to land these combinations right here. Because he got aggressive and he didn't allow Lopez to think and to set him.
Con los pasos hacia atrás, pues lo quita de toda distancia. Creo que para hacer una pelea que tiene que convencer, Lomachenko tiene que lanzar más combinaciones de golpes, tener más continuidad y mover más la cintura, el boxeo que lo tiene acostumbrado.
He was 10 of 20 in power punches. Let's see if he stays a little aggressive here. Round number 9, winner take all, for 4 belts. And Lopez comes out with a hook.
If you're Loma, you got to continue to use your jab just like that. Sometimes you'll land it, sometimes you won't. But it'll get you in range. Stay tight and let your hands go. Get out of range and then reset and do it again. You can't lay on the outside like that, Joe.
Lopez having banked all the early rounds. But now it is on the line.
And I told you, Lomachenko said, I need him to establish that jab, get inside behind that jab, but throw combinations, not single shots.
He just pushed back against exactly what his father wanted him to do. After that 8th round, he said he did it again. He said, when he comes in like that, don't allow for it. Push it back.
So, watch your legs, watch your legs.
So, you see, Loma's in range sometimes and he won't let his shots go. He's got body shots, he's got short uppercuts and right hooks, but
why is that, Dre? Is it because of the danger that exists opposite him, knowing what could be coming back?
That's exactly what it is. Trust me, if Loma felt like he was in control and he could take the power, he would throw more shots. He's not comfortable yet.
Short right hand. Oh, there's a good jab and a combination to Lomachenko. And Lopez comes right back.
Loma's gonna have to sell out to get the kind of shots that he wants. Some nights it's just like that. You gotta back up your reputation, you gotta back up your name, and you gotta put yourself in harm's way to get the job done.
And let me tell you something, if he has to sell out offensively, this is going to be an incredibly entertaining stretch run for the undisputed status.
Tonight we're gonna see what Lopez has inside tonight. Loma's gonna test him.
Lead left uppercut from Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo's not going to give way. He is looking to pull the trigger on these uppercuts. Lomachenko has to close the gap. He has to step in. And that is dangerous against a power puncher who, by the way, is showing very good boxing skill tonight.
For Lopez, this is not the time to mentally go to sleep. He's got to stay alert.
Punches touch there from Loma. This is not the fight that most thought we would have. Most felt Teofimo Lopez's only chance was to have that dynamite in the right hand and be able to deliver it. They didn't think about this, the athleticism, the quickness, the boxing IQ. Looking for that right uppercut again. Fun to see Lomachenko with a little more offensive desire. Teofimo Lopez put forth early on.
Loma's starting to begin to get in his rhythm right here, and it all starts with that lead jab, blinding, getting Lopez out of position with that shot, that lead shot. Nice follow-up here by Lomachenko. This is the signature shot that Lopez loves to land, typically with the right hand. This time he switched up and went with the left. Not a big shot, but certainly got Loma's attention.
I think that has to be getting the attention of the judges. The combination over again. Defeating the combination over again. The stoic following trainer keeps it simple with the instructions. Just keep with the combinations over and over again. Since he started doing that in the 7th round, he has found success, and you can make a strong argument that he has banked the last 3 rounds. Remember, early on we were all in agreement he only had the 2nd round in the first half of the fight. But the last 3 rounds, you can mark down the record for Lomachenko. Not that Lopez has held off. Lomachenko has had to come up. Round number 10.
This is why you don't see a lot of unifications in the sport, or at least as many as we should, and a lot of undisputed championships, because it's hard. It's not easy. You're risking everything. You could get knocked out. You could get beat. You might get embarrassed. And oftentimes, guys don't want to risk all that.
But give credit for these two, because during the Floyd Mayweather era, when it was about managing the business of boxing, this is about the boxing of boxing for taking this fight.
One area where Lopez is neglecting is the body of Lomachenko. I told you guys earlier, if you got a guy that's coming in being aggressive, you start hitting him down to the body, he's going to start protecting that rib cage.
Defensive surge from Teofimo.
Teofimo with some big shots right now from Loma's starting to take some shots, and they start to get heavy. I'm seeing the wear and tear right now. In front. You see Loma is just a heart of a winner. You see a guy who is not used to losing, and he's going to try to bite down what you see him doing right now. He's trying to get his respect and win some more rounds.
Not used to losing. A guy who goes 396 and 1 in his amateur career, wins 2 worlds, and then becomes the fastest ever to be a 3-division champion. Lands the left hand on the face of Teofimo Lopez there.
If you're Lopez, this is where you earn your money as well. You got to bite down and maintain the respect that you earned in the earlier rounds. Can't give it up right now just because Loma decides he wants to come forward. The championship boxing is all about, right? Moments like this. How bad you want it. That's what it boils down to. You can see he belongs in the ring with Lomachenko. He's doing very well. And now we got to bite down on that mouthpiece.
and close the show.
Left hand right to the midsection, right hand to the body. Teofimo, both guys trading, both guys want to get there. Loma gets into the pocket, fires off a combination.
Poor discipline by Lopez. You know, he keeps his hands real low. He can easily block those shots if he brings his hands up. Oh, that's a body shot.
Russell Moore is going to say low blow.
I mean, you're jumping up in the air. You're okay? You all right?
You be the judge. Let's see. What one?
Great ball. Don't let it happen again. All right? But when you got Loma pulling away like that,
Russell Moore, the referee, has refereed 570 professional bouts. He was the referee for one Lomachenko fight, his third debut. Last 3 rounds we have seen an offensive uptick Andre from Vasily Lomachenko. Take us through it.
See Loma coming with that right jab. That's what he needs to do. To keep Lopez off of him. Lopez just missed that uppercut. But then you see Loma coming forward with his signature punches, leading with that left, coming back with the swivel right. Here we see the jab again. And Lopez is trying to block those shots, but they're coming fast and they're coming at awkward angles. And that's just a mental lapse right there for Lopez. You know, I talked about him not falling asleep right now. He's got to maintain his mental focus until the fight is over. He can't give up his right.
Listen, Teofimo Lopez came out and did exactly what he wanted to do early on, and we think it was poor. But you could make the same argument for the back half of this fight as we arrive at the championship rounds. 6 minutes to decide it. So, Dre, your scorecard reads exactly the way that I just described it. It's now 5 rounds apiece, according to Andre Ward. Of course, what matters is what is said with Tim Cheatham, Julie Letterman, and Steve Weisfeld, the 3 judges here.
Everything is riding on these next 2 rounds for both fighters.
and as you can see, the experience of Lomachenko is now starting to make good dividends. He's been here before. Lopez don't know.
Look at these exchanges here in round number 11. You think they won it? Well, they stuck to each other again. Loma gets right to him. Lopez, of course, can fire off that right hand that can change anything at any moment.
Loma can't forget the body. When Lopez is on the ropes like that, the midsection is wide open.
Lopez is exhausted right now. Loma's stepping on that gas, and you can see he's landing those straight punches.
He said, I want to take him to the deep water where he hasn't been. I want to drown him there. These are the championship rounds where the veteran does that.
The body shots hurt Lopez right there. You see him holding on, trying to get himself together.
You can see more pronounced swelling around the eye. Lopez's mouth. Listen to Lomachenko right into him immediately. Closing that gap, a short left hand, and overhand right as well. And then an up jab.
Listen to me. If you can rest tomorrow, Lopez needs to back down right now. Lomachenko put it on him. Lomachenko's looking for a knockout, gentlemen. He's looking to stop Lopez.
Big 11th round here for Lomachenko.
Lopez to the body for Lopez. So yeah, Lopez is still throwing, and he's still there. Make no mistake about it.
But he's not throwing enough, Trey. And then that big miss right there took a lot of steam out of Lopez.
Lomachenko, that southpaw jab. Oh, there's a body shot. Left hand to the body from Lomachenko. And now the break for Russell Moore.
We said in the first couple rounds that this is what Loma had to do to have success, is close the distance, take more risks. He's getting hit, so he's willing to get hit so he can get his offense off.
Lopez is tired. So a lot of steam off his punches. Doesn't feel that threatening.
Remember we talked about how exhausting it is to just be in there thinking about every moment, how hyper focus and attentiveness to every second against Lomachenko. Now you see what it looks like. But the body shots still have effect, don't they? He has committed to that from the start. It was a good 11th round from Lomachenko, but a good finish to it for We have 1 round to go in a razor-thin, close fight to see who will be the undisputed champion.
Once you let them go attack that line, you don't need a point deduction. Okay, last round, 3 rounds.
These last 4 rounds from Loma have been sheer will. And you just see him pressing the issue, doing what he has to do to land shots like that.
Last round,
He's
gentlemen.
in the line of fire right now. He's in the danger zone, but he's still letting the shots go. He's getting there first. He's starting the combinations, and he's ending the combinations. And Lopez is landing combinations, or excuse me, shots, but they're far and few in between.
According to CompuBox, it was the best round that Lomachenko had. He was 29 of 62. He landed 19 power punches. Those are highs for Lomachenko in the night. 12th and final round. Winner takes all. First half was Teofimo Lopez. Second half has been Vasily Lomachenko. This will decide it. 3 minutes for history.
Dream about moments like this as a young kid coming out, basically being even, going into the last round, and you envision yourself finding a way to pull it out. I want to see who finds a way to pull it out.
And Tim, can you imagine? This fight would typically be in front of 20,000 next door in the big arena, or Madison Square Garden, or Staples. There were rules to start a 12th round, but it's just not. And it's just 100 people here in a COVID protected by the Chamber of Truth, and this is the way they're going to do it. But now, what do they think, and what are they saying in the corner of Lopez?
Teofimo Lopez's father said, look, you're winning this fight. Just go out there and box. But it looks like the son is not trusting that. He's going out to win this fight, just as Andre Tickles.
There's reason to believe that. You just saw Andre's good right hand work from Lopez. He is laying down. He wants it. Lomachenko steps to it and fires off. One single moment in this 12th round could sway things. This 12th round could be the decider. We could be sitting on a draw. We could be sitting on something where our body should get by Lopez. And he digs down with the left hand, comes up top of the left hook, fires a straight right.
Body language, it can be everything in this round. Body language, who wants you more? Sometimes that persuades a judge. And Lopez has definitely won the first half of that round, put on a great exhibition of power, speed, skill. We'll see if he can close the show. But Loma is going to step on the gas. You know Loma stepping on the gas.
Think about everything they put forth their whole lives. And now 60 seconds to see if you can become an undisputed, the first ever lightweight champion.
It boils down to these moments right here.
Right hand tried to time it. Oh, left hand comes in. Oh, and Lopez with success here. Teofimo Lopez. Best punch of the back half of the fight right there. Oh, he's got him hurt. Look at this. Teofimo Lopez on the go against Lomachenko. There's no doubt about this 12th round right now, is there, gentlemen? The young man wants it. Over there. What is he there? What is he there? It's the cut on the way up. He had complete momentum before that accident. You gotta be kidding. Listen, 10 seconds considering what he did in this 12th round. Just coasted in his bank for Teofimo.
I'm lost for words. I don't even know what to say. Good. He didn't hear the clap. He didn't hear the clap.
You have to watch your head too, all right? Both you guys got to watch your head.
Flash your heads opens up the cut. Final 10 seconds to take it home. Power surge by Teofimo Lopez in the 12th round. A very, very close fight that will head to the scorecards to decide it. Well done. Blood streaming down the face of the Brooklyn-born Teofimo Lopez. Vasily Lomachenko pushed to the limit Let's talk about the judges for a moment. Steve Weisfeld has judged 3 Lomachenko fights, 1 Lopez fight. He is a veteran judge from New Jersey. He is widely considered to be one of the premier judges in the world. He's done fights with Errol Spence, Canelo Alvarez, Triple G. He is usually a very fair judge. Tim Cheatham has never judged a Lomachenko fight before. He was one of 3 judges for Lopez's pro debut. He just worked the world title fight last week, the victory for Emmanuel Navarrete. And Julie Letterman is the daughter of the late Harold Letterman. She has judged 694 bouts, 1 time for Lopez, and 1 time for Timothy Bradley against Diego Chavez. But she is a well-experienced judge as well. Andre Ward, let's look at your scorecard. A draw. The 12th and final round to Lopez. There is no doubt that Lopez first half of the fight. It was very easy to judge. There is no doubt that he won the 12th round. Over the middle and late round, when Lomachenko decided to be offensive, was it enough? Do we have an upset here? Is the 23-year-old Brooklyn-born Teofimo Lopez, with what he did in that 12th round, the new superstar? Or can the silly Lomachenko get what he always wanted to have? Undisputed status. What a fight. Let's find out right now and hear from the 3 judges.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside MGM Grand, after 12 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Tim Cheatham scores the bout 116-112. Julie Letterman scores the bout 119-109. Steve Weisfeld scores the bout 117-111. For your winner by unanimous decision. And now, the undisputed lightweight champion of the world, the takeover, Teofimo Lopez! A star is born tonight. Teofimo Lopez just beat Vasily Lomachenko. As he always does, he is the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. An American fighter, a 23-year-old, is king of the sport. A unanimous decision. He said he would. His father said he would. Yes, Roma, for years, it rolled up. And tonight, it rolled up.